Welcome to this lecture. In today's lecture, we're going to be looking at what exactly is ReactJS. Also, before then, let's look at how websites have evolved over time. So, website in 90s and 2000 were more a static website, static pages. Very few JavaScript codes were written. Few JavaScript code were written for interactivity. So there was less of interactivity. But as time evolves, websites became more interactive. People began to think of building fully fledged web applications. Right? So there was more interactivity, therefore more JavaScript. So JavaScript code becomes very enormous. And then there was increased complexity. And so therefore more bugs. There was so much manipulating of DOMs. And so this necessitated the need for a better solution. And so how did React get started? The story of React began in 2010 when John Walker, a software engineer at Facebook, created an early prototype of JS called Fast.js. And so the problem was that Facebook began to pick major momentum. The code became very big, their code became very big. New updates, team members became overwhelmed and hard to manage after a while. And so there was need to provide a solution that will increase performance and minimize this problem. And so work was inspired by SHP, an HTML component library for PHP. So SHP was an augmented PHP that allow XML in PHP. And so he was inspired by that work and then began to do work on what today is known as ReactJS, and it was the Fast.js. And so he wanted to create a similar library for JavaScript that makes it easy to build and maintain complex user interface. So this problem has evolved over time as a result of complexity in our JavaScript applications, more interactivity. Jordan Walk was trying to look for a better way of building and maintaining complex user interface. So in 2011, ReactJS was developed on Facebook new feeds. So that the Fast.js was used to develop Facebook's new feeds in 2011. By 2012, Facebook bought Instagram with just 13 employees. And so Instagram wanted to adopt much of Facebook's new technology. So on that pressure, the parent company, which is Facebook, they coupled React for Facebook and make it open source, which is exactly what is done. And so it was deployed on Instagram in 2012. And in late 2013, Jordan finally introduced what is now known as React, an open source material. And so React is an open source library developed from 2010, and they made open source in 2013. So what then is React? So React is JavaScript's library for building interface. Please note that it's not a framework, it's a library. So React is used to build single page application. We're going to explore what single page application is as we unravel our ReactJS course. So ReactJS allows us to build usable component, UI component, and so a website can be divided into components. For example, if you are building a typical website, you can have the navbar, you can have the header, the footer. So these small units can be seen as components. Also, React helps us to build reusable components such that you can use this component even more than once. And so React allows us to create large web applications that change the data without reloading the page. And so we can build a complex application and manipulate the DOM, change the data without reloading the page. So it is used for view layer of application. So in the typical application, we have the model, view, and the controller. So most applications can be divided into these three layers: the model, the view, and the controller. So the view part of this kind of architecture is used for building interface. So React was created and used by Facebook So what are the features of React that make it very attractive? One, GSS. So when you say GSS, we mean the opportunity to actually input HTML code and GX in a single file. And so we see it is GSX. So with React, you can write with our HTML and our JavaScript code in a single file. So React also uses what we call the virtual DOM, which is the virtual document object model. So what you can see this diagram, these are real DOM. This real DOM is actually takes more time to manipulate. And so what React does is that React creates a virtual DOM, which is like a copy of the real DOM. And so when an update is made, it's made on the virtual DOM. And so the virtual DOM compares the current state to the previous state of the real DOM, its current state to the previous state with the state of the real DOM, and then update only those part of the DOM, real DOM, which will actually change the virtual DOM. So in this case, it makes our application actually run faster. React also brought the concept of components, meaning creating components that are reusable within your application. And so with React, we also introduce the state management. Some of these features are what makes React unique and adopted by a lot of companies for building complex application. And so if you want to be a front-end developer in a company, or want to work in a company as a front-end developer, then you need to understand and use React properly. So we're going to look at, in the next course, we're going to look at how all the tools we will actually need to in building our React project, and then we'll look at how to create a React project.